So welcome back, Rabbi Abrahams. This is an interview on the program, Meaningful Interviews with Rabbi Yosef Abrahams, Mashpia of the yeshiva in Miami, Florida, the Rabbis yeshiva. It's Pashgacha Pratis. We're doing this interview between Tezvav and Chayelul. Tezvav, the Yastas of Temchitlimim, Chayelul, the Rebbe Baal Shem Tov, and the Alter Rebbe. So I want to continue where we left off. Where did we leave off? We left off talking about certain Chasidim that you knew. And I want to really talk a little bit more about them and actually do a few more interviews because we only have a half an hour, 40 minutes. So I want to ask you about Reb Sholom Marasow, someone who you knew while you were in yeshiva during the 1950s. Could you tell me what you know about him?
I know what everybody knows. He was a very big lamb. Boki B'Shas. Anything you asked him about, if you asked him the emotion, the Rambam, about the Kiddush HaChedesh, all these things, everything he knew. And he was the Mashgiach in the yeshiva. And Mashgiach in Nigle, Betzim, Chassidus also, a certain time maybe it was in Chassidus also, I don't remember exactly. And he was in Nigle. And sometimes he verbringed, and he took a lot of mashke, so he got grace to Giluyim from them.
What type of Giluyim, give me an example or two, and how was it different, let's say, than
I don't remember exactly the words in this. I have the Hergish Kloli of it, that it was a very strong Fabring, and he spoke open, like this is like quiet and this, unless you ask him a question and learning. But by the Fabring, if he took a lot of mashke, then it was
saying he and
Zeher Geschmack.
It was stories, it was hergation, feelings.
Hergation more.
So how was his Fabringen when he took mashke different than Rebbe? How was his Fabringen when he took mashke different than, let's say, Rebbe Yoel when Rebbe Yoel took mashke?
Yoel's Fabringen was more meichentik. It's different. You have his spoilers and you have the difference between Midas and Meichen. Meichen is more his spoilers, structures, and Meichen, the spoilers there is in a deeper way. And Vekas, Chasidim explains this. I'm not saying it's exactly he's this madrege, that madrege, but it's similar to
Did Reb Sholom have a relationship with you Bacharim, or not really?
No, not look. When I came after I came to visit when I came to the Rebbe later from Marasow or this. A lot of times he used to come over, speak with me, and what's going on.
No, that's later. But I'm saying in the 1950s, and he
look. I don't know every bocher what could be a bocher would go over and ask me. Shailas problems or something, maybe I don't know. I never did that.
Was he an ovid? Was he known to be an ovid? He davened barichas?
That's when he was a bocher. He was then after he got married. It was the hashgoch and everything. So then he said daven barichas. Before
And did he have a tiefe verstand? Did he have a deep understanding? What type of, you said he was a Baki Shas.
He had a clear understanding. How you say, a seichel hayosh, was a Yale was be'emek. And by him was the pashtas, they were seichel hayosh. And you can ask questions, or be like a case of answers, like you have a kasha. So answer you, they say, but it's more in the pshat in the Indian. We speak more about pshat. It's not going into the amkis.
So
I don't know how he on himself. How I'm speaking the way he spoke with Talmidim, with us. It was in the gaya to pshat.
So how was his knowledge different than Rabbi Mentlik, for example? You learned by Rabbi
Mentlik?
Yes. How was it different? How was it?
Yeah, they have different. You have a mashgiach. You don't ask from a forshim or the document. You ask more in the Gemara Teisves or whatever Mashpia, but not into the Meforshim. The Rosh Yeshiva is more into the Meforshim.
Yeah, okay, but what I'm saying,
normally in every yeshiva is that way. There's the way the mashgiach answers, and then there's the way.
I understand, but your first reaction when I asked you about him is you said off the cuff, you said with the pastors, he was a Baki Shas, like
yeah.
And he
and Shas and Shonoroch, and I must ask halacha by him, by the way answer, and everything was clear by him. Suder and Me'ach and clear, and he knew everything. Now, going deeper, the forshim that the pilpulim, I don't know. I'm not saying not, but that's not what he spoke with both.
In other words, if you asked him, or Chef Schmeitzer, you don't know if he knew it on his fingers.
I have no idea.
And how often would he verbring with you, Bacharim? How often would he verbring?
I don't remember exactly, but certain times if I bring more, certain years, I think in the Ches was bringing more. I don't remember exactly.
Mm-hmm. What about his?
Didn't I bring too often? I think Rashab. It used to be if I bring always Rashab. Then we used to give Mashpia if I bring in Temchetmim. Before it was the yin of Shabbos and Vorchim. So there was the Temchetmim was the Fabringen Shchedish.
Yeah.
And the Rebbe was Mamsha. I think he gave the Shmuel money for Mashpia, or like the Stadt was. It was like pushing the Mazel Fabringen. The Mashpia should Fabringen.
Right.
So in the later, it could be in the beginning of Shmuel, but again, he so the older, he couldn't sort of bring in lesser times. So then it was Sholom Marasow. Right. Remember, it was a certain time that not every Chodesh bring.
So let me ask you, what was the yachas, the relationship between Reb Shmuel and Reb Sholom, for example, or Reb Shmuel or Reb Sholom and Rabbi Jacobson? Was there a yachas?
I never saw them speaking. I don't know. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Like who was Reb Sholom Marasow's friend? Did he have any friends? I'm just curious. Did he talk to someone in particular and learning quite a bit?
Look, when he was learning in the yeshiva, I was in Bedford and Dean in the other building. It's he's older, he's a lot older.
Yeah.
He got married when he was 29, if I'm not mistaken, 28, 29. He was from the oldest Bochum. He came together with the
with David.
Five Bochum came from Brunwaden. It was the first boat that came from overseas. It came out of Russia. So it was David Raskin and Sholom Marasow and Beryl Unick.
Yeah. Let me ask you, did he speak about his kashrus? Did he he didn't speak much about the Rebbe, or he did, or in other words, or he spoke from Amol, from Lubavitch, and
it wasn't like
his father.
It was more like something like Sichas from the Rebbe, like something like that. And, again, I'm speaking without Mashpia, without just speaking about the Teichen of the Chaydish. It's like a little bit like how the Rebbe verbringen is. In the first year.
But did he talk also about his father, Chanya?
I didn't hear from him. I don't think so.
Okay, let's
again, don't forget, he 1 second, his father got killed in
1938. Yeah.
He was a bocher. It could be they were not in the same city also, because then the bocherim
yeah. Right.
He used to speak, what's his name, his brother?
Meshach.
Mendel Marasow.
Oh, Mendel. Yeah, Mendel spoke a lot about his father. Yeah. Mendel spoke a lot about his father.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to another person that you knew. You spoke a little bit about it.
I can tell you just this, that he had a very big dercheres for his mother. And for instance, when even he took a lot of mashki, it was like, so somebody told him, your mother's coming to see you with this. So you see, he stopped everything. He got up and he walked out to see where she is or whatever. It was like totally bottle. And so he was ready. He was 35 years old already. Then it still was.
Yeah.
He used to speak about that how even when he's shiked very much, so to imagine his mother is like awakened.
No, yeah, the Yiddish, they do right? The Yiddish, the covet that had for his mother. Okay, so let's talk about another person you mentioned last time, and you said you ate with him, I think, Reb Shmuel Zalmanov, but his son Yosel Zalmanov, I think, was a chaver of yours, a good friend of yours.
Yeah, you say he was younger than me, though. He was a year younger, a year and a half younger.
Tell me about this.
Yeah, but we learned the same kitta. Yeah, we learned together.
Yeah, so not much is known. But
again, that's when we were basically when we were kids. When till 770, we learned Bechavrus by Rabbi Mentlik, and before that by after Ushpa was Rabbi Castell. So in that kit, they learned together. We were in the other kit also, but here you had chavrusas, you're laying on your own. So it was like for 3 years, and they were learning b'chavrusa.
What time did he have? Did he have a good cup? What did he like? What?
Yeah, he had a good head. Yeah.
And
a cup, yeah.
And did his father was like part of the Beis Harav, like very close to the Frierdiker Rebbe, right?
First of all, he was the Balmenagin, and every Yontif they used to eat there by the Tish. He used to say as the vier kashas also by the Frierdiker Rebbe.
Right.
There's even once, I think, was Tavshin Yud Beis that Rebbe mentioned, and he verbrengt after the coming down from upstairs, after the Seder. So he said that this Doina was offering the kashas by and then the Zollefregen it's the. There was once, I think, a year before that, I don't remember, was the Beis or Yud Gimel. In the first years, the Rebbe before we're going home, so I think Chalikov came over to him that he should go into the Rebbe's room after Ma'ariv in the first night of Pesach. He went in, so the Rebbe said he shouldn't tell anybody, and he should ask the 4 kashas now. When he came out, okay, he didn't tell anybody, we told his father, and I overheard it, so I knew that. But then it happened by Rabbim later. I don't know, it was a year later, 2 years later, but in the first years it was.
It happened by Rabbim by the Seder, at the actual Seder.
Not by the Seder, by the Rebbe's Verbringen after the Seder.
Ah.
By the Friedige Rebbe, used to be by the Seder.
Yeah.
Now, after the Histalkes, so Tovshin Yud Aleph, Pesach Tovshin Yud Aleph, I think it was. That's when they called him in. He went in, and then I think in Yud Beis or Yud Gimel, one of these years, I don't remember exactly, but it was in those years that the Rebbe by the Fabrengen told him to say the 4 kashas.
And how long did that last?
Later, there was the day when the Russian kids came, I think in Lamed Beis or Lamed Gimel. I don't remember which year. I wasn't there then, but in the Sikha that the Rebbe told all the kids that came from Russia then. It was a big aliyah from, they made Nachas Chabad then. So he told all the kids they should say the 4 kashas by the Fabrengen then.
You mean that's Achar Shel Pesach?
I don't remember, it was Chalam. The Rebbe Fabrengen, I think also Chalamed then or something. I'm not sure, I don't remember.
Right.
Yeah, but the Sikhs, you can look it up in the Sikhs.
Okay. When did he move to Eretz Yisrael, Yosel Zalmanov?
Yosel Zalmanov, the same time as, 1 second. When I came back Chav Gimel, he was still in America. I guess Chav Dalet. He got married when he got married. I think then was Chav Dalet. I got married in the summer of Chav Gimel, Tammuz Chav Gimel, and he got married. I think it was a year later. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly because they weren't together then. The shlichus and the end of the year of Chav Beis. And then everybody went different places. But I remember when I came to I came before the Chassan. I was Chedesh Nisan here until after the Shavuos by the Rebbe, till a month before the Chassan. So I was staying by him. So he was still there in America yet. Still above. Somebody got married the next year.
And then when you moved to Eretz Yisrael, you kept up with him?
When I moved to Eretz Yisrael, he used to come and visit me a lot. He lived in
Petach Tikva.
In Petach Tikva, yeah. And he used to come and visit me to talk with me.
To talk about in learning?
Tilud. No, yeah, Chavayrim, Yedidim.
So tell me about his life. What happened with him during his life?
Again, he lived in Petach Tikva, and I was in Lud. And I'm not a big traveler or visiting. Again, he used to come to me, but how was it later that his wife passed away very young? There was an accident. I forgot. It was a car accident or something.
Yes.
She passed away. Then he got married again a few years later. I don't know exactly. And I lost contact there. You have children, those, and it's there's no like direct from Lud to Petach Tikva.
But he had children from his new wife also?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Right.
I don't know.
But
it didn't. I think they were separated later. I don't know. It wasn't a long time with her.
Let me.
The first wife he had. two children, I think. Yeah, one learned by me in Lod, and
One of them became a Rebbe, Chassidish Rebbe.
yeah, he was about the yeah. They say he's a good schreiber. He knows how to write very nice. Masber in Yonim, whatever. Some must be Yerusha from Zayder. Shmuel Zalmanov also was
A Kasfer Rabbi.
in writing. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Zalmanov was a Barchush. I mean, he knew Nigle, no Sidus, and he was.
You mean Reb Shmuel Zalmanov, Reb Shmuel?
Yeah, his father. Yeah.
So Yosel, what was he involved with? In yeshiva and with the Rebbe that they had. He stayed and learned in 770 all the years?
He learned in 770. But again, I don't know, then in 770 were like, because I went to Montreal.
So where was he?
And then he went to 770.
So he didn't go to Montreal with you?
No, there was, the Rebbe sent 5 bochum then to, it was like to Mechazik the yeshiva there. I guess to Mechazik us also. In Yechidus, the Rebbe mentioned that I remember the seine Dugmechaye, Mashpia seine andere Talmidim, durch seine Dugmechaye, mentioned. It was a very small yeshiva there, Montreal. That's
when the Pinyakorf was there? No.
Pinyakorf came later, after I left. He came later. Uh-huh. We were the first that came. Then it started the Bochum going there.
Uh-huh.
Until later it became a lot more, and then Pinya went maybe a year later, a year and a half later, I don't remember.
Did Yosel Zalmanov have a kesher with Rabbi Yoel?
Look, we learned together by Rabbi Yoel in Bedford and Dean. The first kitta that he taught was our kitta.
Right.
So we were learning there, and I remember there was the Shabbos, the Dalit Kislev. It was not known there's going to be a Fabrengen. I think Pinya Altis went and knocked on the Rebbe's door, and he said he amount Shatchones geld, because his father was a Shatchan.
Right.
And the Rebbe said, kilowatt, and the Rebbe's law is going to Fabrengen. So the Rebbe smiled and they would have said, okay. So Punkt then was after the davening already. And Yael was before that was speaking with us, we should Chazar Tanya Balpeh. And then at Shabbos after davening, so he started verhering. I remember I was there and Yosel was there. And who's there? We were zeicher to the Fabrengen. We stayed there then, and Punkt then the Rebbe came out.
Uh-huh. Because
it was a long Fabrengen, the theater, the Fabrengens then. Usually the Fabrengens in the beginning, it's either like till 2:00, 2:30. And that Fabrengen, I think, was till 4:00. Like Mamish, it was a winter, it's the Mamish big, close to Mincha.
Yeah, but what time did the Fabrengen start then? Also 1:30 or earlier?
No, it started earlier. It started this time like 15, 20 minutes after the Shabbos.
Mm-hmm. And the Fabrengen then
it wasn't like a specific time. And the Rebbe came out, but everybody knew that, and soon the Rebbe was coming out.
And it was upstairs in this Kleine Zal, right?
The Kleine Zal, yeah.
How many people were there on average, such Fabrengen? Let's say that Yudalit Kislev. How many people would you say were in the room?
Look, I never counted.
No, I'm saying
when you're young, it was packed. Packed.
But
after they catch some people chalish even and from the hits, there were a lot of people together, and even though there was air conditions, it was. So you had sometimes a person would faint. I mean, from the Bochum, you had a bocher or two.
So
it was. Look, I never counted it. I don't know.
But you're saying the whole room was packed.
Yeah.
Mhm. By the way, if women wanted to hear the Fabring in those days, they stood outside or there was no women?
Okay, there was no women there. The only thing is when later, before they made the new shul, so it was a possibility. I remember what's his name from Marasow came, Mr. Ziza Gerari, no, she was the Bobber from Moti Ashkenazi.
No, Nachum Goldschmidt. No.
No. He's
Heichke, Karasik.
Karasik, yeah, Karasik.
Karasik. No, Leah
This
Karasik.
is Karasik. Sie is from the Mishpochas. He's Betzma Gerari.
Yeah.
And she knew Chassidus.
Yeah.
And when I remember when she came, she was in the room of David Raskin. So there you could hear that in those days already the Fabrengen was in the Chotzer.
Uh-huh.
The Shalash. Yeah.
1 second. When you say David Raskin's room, you mean what they call the Anhola room, that little room.
Yeah, that small room there, yeah.
How could you hear from the Shalash in that room? How?
I don't know. I wasn't there, but
that's where the women
no,
were.
she used to sit there by the Fabrengen.
She was the only one, or there was some other women?
I guess she was the only one. Maybe Nico came also. I don't know. I wasn't there. I just knew. I heard that she's there. She was there.
Agav, I forgot to ask you. Did you?
But later, when they had the Weiber shul, they made then there was no Weiber.
I understand. Agav, did you ever meet personally the Rebbe Tzimchana, the Rebbe's mother?
Personally, yeah. I told you a story with that when it was in Tovshin Yud Aleph, Shnas HaYistalkes. I had appendix. I had an operation, and then I came out right a day before Shana Rabbah, and then I couldn't go stupen sich in the Fabrengens. I was standing outside there, and before our office, the Simcha Seder already. This was the Simcha Seder. Then they Rebbe Fabreng before Ma'ariv. Later they Fabreng after Ma'ariv, between Ma'ariv and Akofis, but that year was the Fabreng from the daytime till this month from Ma'ariv. It's between Mincha and Ma'ariv. And they locked the door to get Tachten that not everybody should go up to the Fidige Rebbe's room. It was a lot of more people than regular, and the Chamadini didn't want so many people to come, whatever. And then she had a key. And I was standing with another bocher, and she turned to us with a smile. No, Miss Tama wollte wel naar roof gehen. So when she went in, she pushed the door more open that we should run in behind. And then we went up. That's the only time she spoke to me. To me today was another bocher. To us, no.
No, you never visited her in her apartment on President Street. You never went.
No. I saw her a lot of times. The Rebbe used to walk her home after the Sudas of upstairs. So the Yontif used to walk her home. So I saw her a lot of times, but never spoke.
Did you ever speak to Rebbe Tzimcha Medina?
No, but they used to do it in the beginning, after these talkers, after they finished davening, they used to go into the room where they eat. And there was no Sudas Shabbos then, but I mean by the only Yom Tov they had but they used to go in and she was sitting there and they used to say to her good Shabbos. And, remember one time I was with Yosel Zalmanov, so she spoke with him. She didn't hear, but she could read the lips.
Were you ever upstairs? I think that they say by the three Fabrengens that Purim Yutes Kislev and maybe Yud Beis Tammuz. she would host a Farbrengen before the Rebbe's Farbrengen in her apartment, the Friedrich Rebbe's apartment, and
yeah.
and the Rebbe would
used to be there.
would
The
go
Rebbe used to
up.
be there also. No, I was never there then.
You were never there.
The Elam didn't go. It was only Muzmon, and it was a short thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't a.
No, the Rebbe went. The Rebbe went.
Yeah.
And I heard that the door.
I don't know. It was Purim also. You say I don't know. I'm not sure. I know Yutas Kislev. She used to send down like for small challahs with fish and filter fish. Something to in the shul. So he said officially it should be like the Suda. And and they were upstairs, yeah.
I heard that the door was open and anyone that wanted, they can't reingehen, but no one went.
Could be, I don't know. I never was up there. First time I was there was a Pesach on the. They ever mentioned the first night. He mentioned that the Tieren sind gemacht. Everybody was standing to get in. Now all the doors are open. Nobody comes.
When was this Tafshin Yudal?
Well, they should have come to eat the Afikamen together.
When?
The next night, the Bochum came. The second night of Pesach, Bochum came, and
you're talking about what year are you talking about? Tafshin Yudalef?
Yud.
Tafshin
Yud.
Mm.
And then the Rebbe said they brought there's like it was a kite. I think I told you man this the kite from the Alter Rebbe Yerusha.
Yeah.
For soup. Everybody used to take like 3 left from the soup that was in the Alter Rebbe's kite. And the Rebbe said the Bochum also.
Oh, so you got from that?
I got from there, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then also the cases, I think I had to drink double cases. If I'm not mistaken, this I don't remember. This I remember for sure with the kaira from the Alter Rebbe.
What do you mean you had to drink arba cases? You already had your arba cases. I'm not following.
No, we ate after we came in there.
Ah.
We benched there. That's how we could eat the soup.
Mm-hmm.
It was before that we came in.
You remember the Rebbe's nusach of the Haggadah? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember how the Rebbe said. I didn't hear the first part, the second part. I'm not a good Almanagin, but that's...
Kilei Chasdei, right? The Haidul Hashem, right?
Oh, every day I heard Nishmas. And Nishmas used to cry then by Nishmas. And,
used to cry?
Hallel, and Nishmas, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Every year he cried in the same place?
Every year. I don't remember. Exactly. Mm-hmm. It's be'erech in those places. It wasn't like for a second and stuff. It was like a hamster. It was the whole time with here. It wasn't a strong bechi, but it was a bechi. Mm-hmm. It's a difference how it was like Tkiya Shefer or by the Haftarah. A lot of times it was a strong bechi. Here it was a different.
After the Stalkos, the Shmuel Zalmanov didn't have the same prominence as he had before.
Yeah, yes, the Yeshiva was makpid on him because the Rashab is the Rashab. So a few of the, I think Zalman Gerani also, he was also from the Muzumonim by the Friedrich Rebbe, but after the Stalkos, they stopped being invited.
Because
I don't know about Tafshin Yud. See, Tafshin Yud, I didn't eat by them yet. I started eating I think it was Yud Aleph. I started eating by them.
Who by
Yud Aleph.
By Zalmanov.
Yeah. So yeah, they were not. They was not invited. Like this, they were every Pesach over there. Pesach, Yom Tov.
Mm-hmm. And Reb Shmuel, you knew well. Reb Shmuel, you knew well because you ate by him for many years, no?
Shmuel Zalmanov, yeah. Look, I was a kid.
No, but later when you were 17, 18, 19, you didn't eat by
No,
him?
I didn't eat that. I didn't eat that. I ate till I was 17.
Mhm.
And when I was in 770, I was already in 770. They had the kich in 770 and the nose.
Right, right.
In the Pesach, there was no kitchen in the Bedford Din. Most of the kids went home. And those that stayed, they had a balabatim.
Uh-huh.
And then Shabbos also in the beginning was no kitchen for them. I don't know how it was later. So they ate by balabatim, and so it was but then when I went to some 70s already with the Bochrim, first of all, I was like stopped going because I left New York. I went to Montreal.
Yeah.
I think the first Pesach when I was in Montreal, I still ate by them.
Right.
But already the next year, I started learning in some 70. Because then I was there like almost a year and a half.
Yeah.
Till Pesach Tovshin Tezayin. And then I ate in the yeshiva, the Tezayin.
Rabbi Abrahams, we have to stop now, and Emir Hashem will be Mamshich next week because the rest of this week I'm occupied, but I would like to continue next week. So I'll be in touch with the Sholom.
Okay.
Ask you.
Good.
Yashikoyach and a good Yom Tiv for Chayelu, Meher Nor Psuras Toivus. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Okay.